Welcome back. This is Z-Rod, Super Z-Rod. I came in with Politoad a lot of games. Just wanted to lead in charge, large and in charge. I have Politoad with a legacy move, Earthquake. So we mud shot 9 times and we try to build up to a blizzard. My opponent assumes that I have a blizzard since I'm staying in. Interesting that they air this. I'm just now noticing that with you guys. The foul play is not revealed yet. I believe they foul play here. So I was able to get a shield, and in the even shields, it's a tie. So maybe that weather ball from Politoad, it definitely did help. Maybe I'll shield once, and the body slam will take it out. It's too tanky to take out, but I aim to CMP tie with the Mandibuzz. Then we do. The foul play lands here. And we counter down. The body slam is coming in. I aimed to body slam whatever comes in. Unfortunately, it's a Regirock, so I felt very disappointed about landing the body slam. And I couldn't get to anything else. So here we save our Weather Ball water for Regirock, and we go for Weather Ball Ice. We notice I know this is a Weather Ball Ice, so I take it. I'll leave this Weather Ball Ice on Abomasnow, and it's neutral because of the grass typing. And that's why this is a winning matchup. I don't have to go Psyshock here. I go for another grass. I go for another icy Weather Ball. Okay. So one Weather Ball water will KO this Abomasnow. And I could go for the Earthquake, but I don't think that's necessary. I think 2 Weather Balls should do it. In theory, Weather Balls do more damage because of the stab than 1 Earthquake. And that's GG's. Game 2 of against Wax Eagle. We get the lead. A very convincing win. I can go into Vigoroth here. And Vigoroth also is a counter for Regirock, so I don't mind coming in with energy against Regirock. And I go for another body slam. They could let this go because they don't want to be countered down. And Vigoroth would have been good against this too. So it is good against this. Ooh, we get a counter through. I have a Pokemon for this in the back. I'm double weak to counter in the back. Now my opponent Wax Eagle is very good. I always battled with him when PvP came out. We used to be spar buddies when new Silph meta came out. Boulder, Jungle Cup, everything in Season 1. Nightmare Cup. That was truly a nightmare. And he shields, and we go for another Weather Ball. I shield, of course, because it should be game. I don't shield? Oh, I farmed down. Okay, so I didn't think it was necessary to throw. Yeah, that seems like a play I would make in GBL. If I didn't know what was in the back, then I would definitely farm down with his zweilous. And we got this game. He throws, but it's way over. I'll just Dragon Breath down. GG. Thanks for the battles. Game 3 against my opponent, Wax Eagle. I switch out into Politoad, and this game is pretty RPS. They go for the Focus Blast here. My Politoad is convincingly a Mud Boy, so sometimes Stone Edge, I don't get Stone Edged on this Politoad because people think it's a ground type. But it's not to be mistaken for a ground type. It's a single resisted, so makes it a good safe switch in this scenario. And they go for another Focus Blast. I assume that does more damage. Gives them less to farm. Maybe it gives them more to farm. I know this opponent's really good. So they probably want to farm down. Politoad, although Politoad, it's just so threatening to take shields, and I don't even know if he wants this Abomasnow, because nothing is going to KO. They Energy Ball there. Yeah, they don't want this Abomasnow. And I think about firing attack, but the next Pokemon that comes in is Amanda Buzz, and we have a hard counter for this. So, yeah, this game's pretty unfair. And in terms of RPS, all the Amanda Buzz can do is Aerial Ace, and Aerial Ace is a bad move. It's a very bad move. Like, out of all the moves, Aerial Ace is the one. It's the one of the worst moves. There's moves that are better, like Quick Attack. Quick Attack is a better move than Aerial Ace. Not very good to compare apples to oranges, but I said it. And that's GG's. Thanks to the opponent for the battles. Well, we step into the night mode. We get a very bad lead. And we switch into Vigoroth. I think they try to... Okay, they don't stay in. They go into their own Vigoroth into my Vigoroth with energy, so that's a bad choice. I didn't understand why, if they had Alolan Marowak on their team. So we win the switch, and we get to counter this. Vigoroth against Galvantula. That's pretty good. Oh my goodness, we get a shield. And we deny a Volt Switch before the KO. Yes, so we're able to take Switch. We're able to get this shield. So we're up shield. And I switch and deny all their charge moves. Now they just let me farm down and I go into a Dark Pulse. And I assume that's it. I don't know why they didn't come in with them a little Marowak. Game 2. Politoad against their Marowak. So we got switch this time. We're not going to have to rely on fancy moves. And they go into their Vigoroth while we hard counter theirs. This is not a hard counter. It's a really soft counter where if I deny moves, I can win. And if they get counters through, So I go for the Weather Ball, Ice, and I have to deny moves. I try to deny moves by going 3 Powder Snows or 3 Mud Shots. And the thing is, he double shields, so he almost wins. But my opponent goes for the farm down, and since it's not as strong as a move for Vigoroth uses counter, but it's not stab, so I was able to farm it down. Politoad against Marowak. It's pretty self-explanatory here that I will go. I think I go Earthquake. Yeah, Earthquake, because I might not get to another move. I really wanted to farm down, and I go for the Weather Ball. I don't want this to have too much energy, but Vigoroth should be able to tank a lunge. I know it's a lunge, right? So I shield, I body slam, and a body slam will do it. Then the Vigoroth against the Alolan Marowak. We counter down. That's GG's. So this is a good battle. Oh, it's a Hex Marowak, so I don't like that. I have 2 answers to this in the back. And he gets 1 Volt Switch against us. Okay, so 2 more Volt Switches, and he has a move. And I get to the move, so that way he has to shield. And now he has the charge move. But he goes for 1 more Volt Switch here. And the lunge. So I get to the next Weather Ball, Water. And it takes out this Pokemon. That's incredible, because I didn't know that Politoad can counter a Galvantula, but it's confirmed. And Vigoroth against my Marowak is hard countered, so I believe they switch here. My opponent forfeits after this, and that's GG's. In this game, the only counter they have for Alolan Marowak is this Bibarel. So I don't bring Bibarel. I don't bring Alolan Marowak at all these 3 games. I believe my opponent likes to assume people are going to bring Alolan Marowak, and I don't want to bring Alolan Marowak against this thing at all, because I can't throw Shadow Bones or Shadow Ball. Right, I'm not able to throw Shadow Bone because I don't have that move. I have Shadow Ball, but it's the hardest counter to an Alolan Marowak, because those moves are super effective. Those water guns are hurting Alolan Marowak, and I just didn't do it. And this is the only problem. I don't have Blizzard, which came in handy for the first matchup. And I am down a shield. I have to land the Psyshock in order to win this. And it's all about saving shields for this. So it's all about CMP tie here. I get Sludge Bombs, so they want to KO me. I think that my opponent's not going to shield. Of course, they're going to shield, but I know that that's the winning scenario. And it's about CMP tie here. I body slam. I can't get rid of this. If I could have gotten rid of this, even a body slam would have been good there. So I go for the weather ball, a CMP tie again, so we lose. And that's GG's. My opponent's putting up a fight. So Politoad into Bibarel. My opponent didn't like that. I'm double weak to counter in the back. I have Zweilous and I have Vigoroth, and they just brought in their counter to those Pokemon. So I'm staying in. I'm so grateful that this Pokemon came in for Politoad and threw a Mud Bomb, because a Mud Bomb I could tank. I can't tank a Sludge Bomb, and that's how they win against Politoad. The Mud Shots are doing super effective to Toxicroak, and I go for the shield because I know I can survive a couple of counters. A couple meaning two, not a few. And I see one counter went through as I hit the weather ball, water, and it takes a shield. So I think what I should do, and I know I can't bring in Vigoroth because it's resisted. So I Dragon Breath because Dragon Breath is an OP move. Zweilous is an attack-weighted Pokemon, and I know I hard counter this. And the Bibarel, because I have two answers for the Bibarel, Vigoroth and Zweilous. They go for the Aerial Ace here, but I don't shield. They go for the Leaf Blade. Ooh. So I shield this because I don't like Hyper Fang. I feel like is a really good move, and I don't like being Hyper Beamed at all. I have flashbacks and PTSD of getting Hyper Beam from Ferocious Cup. So we body slam both Pokemon to take the game. GG's. So game 3, Pokebears 13. We have to win this. It's 1-1. It's a tie game, and we get a huge lead. They haven't brought Registeel, but I feel like leading Alolan Marowak because their team is weak to Alolan Marowak. They don't bring Bibarel this round, so it's a pretty hard counter round. I know they're going to go Aerial Ace. I have to shield at least one. But I don't mind coming in here with Zweilous because Zweilous can pressure Registeel with Dark Pulse. And I have another answer for Registeel with Politoad. So they try to get to... I get to the Dark Pulse. They try to switch. Which was so close. So I let a few counters through. And I'm going to try to take 2 shields from this matchup, because I can survive 1 Mud Bomb, and then the second Mud Bomb will KO. But as long as I take 2 shields, we're in a good position where I can just Mud Shot down. So they go for 2 Mud Bombs, and because they went back to back, I was able to go double Bone Club instead of CMP tying with me, which was this is a good play. I go up to the Weather Ball, and they switch. But I'm okay with that, because I can go for another Weather Ball and farm down. It's tempting to go Earthquake. And now I threaten them to throw, because I can get to another Dark Pulse. So I go Weather Ball here. And I know with the subsequent Dragon Breath from Zweilous, I was able to farm that down. This Weather Ball Water will KO Toxicroak. And My opponent concedes. GG's. This is round 4 for the championships. We're both 3-0. Captain Dust Bunny. I haven't played this opponent in a long time. It's been about a year. We just haven't been... we haven't battled in like a year. I can't believe it. So I switch, try to catch an Earthquake. And I go for 2 body slams. It's all about taking the shield. And usually when I face like the same opponents, they overcharge. But since I haven't faced this opponent in a long time, I think that's part of the reason why they go for the Frenzy Plant immediately. But I still take a shield, and that's enough for me. That's why Vigoroth is such a good safe switch. I wish I could get Alolan Ninetales on this. And this is in Mudshot down range, so I'm okay with that. I'll shield here. And this game was a lot closer. Sometimes I just have to believe. This Politoad, my Politoad has Earthquake, the legacy move. And this Politoad had Weather Ball me. I thought maybe his Politoad doesn't have Earthquake. So we're thinking that. And here I go for the Psyshock. They go for the Weather Ball. The Psyshock will KO. No, the Psyshock won't KO. But they're in farm down range. The problem is I clicked Weather Ball and we CMP tied, so that's not good. But we shield the Dazzling Gleam, which I think is a winning scenario. So I tried to underfarm. It ends up KOing. And then I sack. Here they go Weather Ball, because the Weather Ball water would have KO'd my Ninetales. And all I need is a Weather Ball from Ninetales to an Ice, even though it's resisted, will KO this Politoad. A Weather Ball to take the shield. And here, we know it's a Blizzard now. It's a Blizzard Politoad. So I should win that matchup if I ever face that Politoad again. And we get to the Weather Ball, Ice, and we KO. Game 2. We don't get a good lead. We get Galvantula into our Politoad. And Vigoroth is not a hard counter to it, but we're trying to get a switch. No, it's not so much about switch. It's not that. I just want the shields. So I go for a Body Slam. My opponent may have overcharged, which is exactly what I want. They realized what I did last time. I get a counter through, and that counter through tempted me, and I wanted to shield. But they don't undercharge this Frenzy Plant, so we're okay with that. They do get a shield with Politoad, but I decide to farm down with zweilous, because I don't know what's in the back. Oh, not a Sludge Bomb. So I can resist all the moves. And we go for the Dark Pulse, expecting them not to shield. I don't try to catch a move, I just switch immediately, and I get a Weather Ball. So the next thing we're trying to do is we're going to try to farm down with zweilous. The play was to catch a Weather Ball on this Politoad. And we double shield this. Gosh. So he launches us. And we can resist a weather ball. But it's able to KO. And at this point, if our body slam wasn't debuffed by the lunge, we would be able to KO this Politoad. So GG's. So round 3, we're both going for the championship. I lead Alolan Marowak, and we get the switch. We get the lead. And I believe they are double weak to this, so I shield this. Unfortunately, it's a lunge. I know that the entire team is weak to this, Alolan Marowak. And they discharged me. And I go for the Bone Club here. I don't know why I go for the Bone Club when I have Shadow Ball. I haven't shown the Shadow Ball. I'm grateful that they shield. And I shield this because I am for certain that they would Sludge Bomb me there. So I switch into this, and now we use the known fact that they have Blizzard to hard counter them. We can Earthquake them, and subsequent Weather Ball will do. So Weather Ball Water, even though it's not super effective, it's what I need to KO them in the red. This Politoad will KO, will Blizzard me because the Weather Ball didn't do enough. And I'm not trying to win here. I don't want them to farm me down, and that's all I need. I don't need them to farm me down. I could throw here as long as I get rid of this. So it becomes a lot closer because I don't get rid of that Politoad. And I go for the Body Slam here, and we can straight Body Slam again. The part of the game that I didn't expect was this CMP tie. I thought I won CMP, so that's why I was playing it safe. Turns out that it's not safe, and this Politoad is loaded. So we've got Politoad in the back with 1 Weather Ball stored. And we can Dragon Breath if we are able to survive this. So we survive it, and that's GG's. Thanks for the battles. Thanks to my opponents. Thank you. I want to share a secret that I have used this team that you just recently saw in the last game for GBL, and that's what put me at ELO 3000. So I'm glad that it taught me a lot through GBL, and I hope I can challenge you out there in GBL. This is Super Z-Rod. Deuces.